What's going on, everyone? Welcome to this week's episode of the Sportorium podcast. We're going to start this episode talking about Damar Hamlin. Just a very unfortunate thing. Our thoughts and prayers are with him and his family. I'm interested to see your guys' perspective because for me, it's a little different seeing like a guy on my team go down like that. Obviously, it was just crazy for everyone to even see it. But like for me personally, like I've seen this guy for the past 2 years. Sixth round draft pick. He gets sprung into a big role with Micah Hyde being out, and he's been playing really well. I'm pretty sure he's leading the Bills in tackles. So, it's always unfortunate to see a guy go down with injury, but something that serious and the dude's 24 years old. He's like a budding star in the league, and I don't know. It's just absolutely wild to see. But some improvements from him today that we got some updates. So that's good to see. But I'd like to see your guys' perspective on what your thoughts were Monday night.
I think it was obviously very crazy to see. Cause like we've seen people go down and have to like be put in ambulances before. We've never seen something like that where it's like they stopped the entire game because of it. So that was just a whole other like added thing to it that we've just never seen before. So it's just crazy, and now how it's kind of like impacting the whole league now. And you see it's like everyone's like obviously everyone's donating to his foundation. Everyone like it's all stuff like that where like everyone's just come together for this cause. So it's just kind of like crazy to see all this happening because it's something we've never seen before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
first you just you see someone down, you just we see injuries every game. You kind of just didn't really know like the seriousness of it. And then once like you said, like the game, like they stopped the game, I was like, I didn't really know what was going on.
Yeah. It is really nice to see like just the whole entire world pretty much come together to support him. Obviously, all the NFL teams, we've seen other leagues do stuff about it. The president was talking to his family. It's wild. This is something that literally hasn't happened. So it's just insane.
Yeah.
It's something like I keep replaying in my head that it happened. It's like, how did that, like, this is serious. Like, how? I don't know. It's very weird. So next we're getting into Daniel Jones. I feel like he has earned a new contract with that team. He's led his team to the playoffs. His main concerns the past couple of seasons have been his turnovers, and he's really limited that. And not that he's a superstar, but he's managing the games well. He makes very good plays every now and then. I think he has earned a new contract. I'm not going to say he's going to get like some 6-year mega deal, but 2 or 3 years or something, and to show that like you could be the guy. I mean, you just led your team to the playoffs. Granted, there's a lot of defense and Saquon involved in that, but he had a big part of that.
Yeah, I think like maybe like 3-4 year deal would be fine for him, but like you're not giving him any like crazy money. You're not giving him like 25 million a year. But he's shown that he's more than capable of like winning with the team. I mean, he's kind of like a game manager to a certain point, but it's fine if you're winning. It's not like he's probably not going to go out and win a Super Bowl. I'd be very surprised if that happened, but I think based on how he's played this year, I was like limited his turnovers and everything. I think there's no problem with giving him another deal. I don't think you're gonna like go out and be like, yeah, let's go get like Jimmy G or something that's gonna improve you in any way.
Yeah. And especially his running capability. He's Vanilla Vic.
Yeah, I don't think there's anybody that they could really like replace him with that would make like any sense rather than just you went to the playoffs with him. He finally has a good coach. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, if there's a way you get Lamar Jackson, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, but that's not gonna. I don't think that's gonna happen. It wouldn't really make sense for them.
Yeah.
Any of the quarterbacks that are available, like I'd rather Daniel Jones over Derek Carr probably. I'd rather Daniel Jones over. I'd probably still want him over Rodgers, considering they still have a ways to go. It's not like they're a Super Bowl caliber team just yet.
Yeah, and
so
he's like, how old is he? Like 26.
I think he's around there. I mean, they just declined his 5th year, and he's going to be a free
Yeah, I mean,
agent,
it's not like they have like some crazy weapons either. So
yeah, though they have nobody.
That's also the thing. Like, you gotta we don't really know like if he gets like a receiver next year, like they could be even better.
His number one receiver right now is Isaiah Hodgins, and he was on the Bills practice squad for 3 years. He's a good receiver and all, but like he definitely needs like a difference maker at the receiver position. But props to Daniel Jones, man, and the Giants. Brian Dable has really turned it around there. Joe Shane, they got a bright future. Another young star in the league for the Giants, Kayvon Thibodeau, just absolutely tasteless act. Just demolishes Nick Foles as Nick Foles is doubled over in pain, literally in fetal position, snow angels, just right next to him for like a good 10 seconds. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't know. Like, did he know?
I mean, he didn't look over, so there's a chance he didn't know.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
like,
I think if he realized he was hurt, he probably wouldn't have done it. But
Dude, Nick Foles was like yelling in pain on the ground. How did he?
and he was his arms while he was going up in the snow angel were hitting him.
Yeah, I
But
think
that's
maybe
also like a thing on the Colts. Like, you're really gonna let your quarterback just get like killed, and you're gonna
yeah,
do
like
nothing?
Jeff Saturday said that too.
also like
Yeah.
maybe one of the Giants players could have like been like, bro,
Yeah,
like
dude,
chill,
up.
like get up,
Yeah.
like
But he
Yeah,
was
no
like
one said
slapping
anything.
on the chest, like, yeah.
Yeah, no
Like,
one said anything, so it's like, did nobody know at
yeah,
first?
I don't know. That was weird. Colts are just soft.
Yeah,
I feel like that's the moral of the story here.
I think he said he doesn't know who Jeff Saturday is today.
That's so funny. So next we're getting into the Jets and Seahawks game. First off, Jets season. As of right now, it's over. We'll see what they're going to do with the playoffs and everything. But we have a few words from some other people here at the podcast, starting off with Rocco, and then he's going to hand it off to Tyler. So Rocco, take it away.
Thanks, Steve. What's up, man? So before I get into talking about the Jets, first things first, got to talk about Damar Hamlin. Got to pray for that guy. Crazy things that happened, but there's a lot of good news coming out of that hospital. So from his family and everything, he's able to wiggle his fingers and toes, and he's able to like grab a pen, and it's going in the right direction. So good to hear. Now on to the Jets. First thing is the loss to Seattle. That was a terrible performance. We just let Geno walk all over us, basically. The Seahawks just crapped on us, and the team just looked terrible. Mike White thought he would have played better. He didn't. He looked terrible. So, whatever it is, we're out of playoffs. Disappointing that we're out of playoffs, but compared to the usual 4-win seasons, 2-win seasons that we've been having, it's it's something to look at, and it really is nice to see that we actually are stepping in the right direction. Our rookie class was just amazing. Unfortunately, we did have a lot of injuries that really affected the outcome of our season. If AVT never got hurt, if Brees Hall never got hurt, would have been very different. But maybe with that new MetLife turf, things will turn around. So the big questions that I really have for the future are our offensive coordinator, Michael LaFleur, I'm not a fan of. Is he going to be the guy? And the other thing is, what are we going to do at quarterback? I don't think Mike White is the answer. I think we just need Zach Wilson on that bench, just learning from a veteran. So are we going to sign Jared Goff? Are we going to sign, Lamar Jackson, maybe? Derek Carr is a clear answer for me. Other people want Jimmy Garoppolo, but Carr has been great. He was almost MVP a few years ago before he broke his ankle. He's been a very good quarterback, and he will be the best quarterback the Jets had in a very, very long time. But who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? But if we got him, the team would be a real contender. And I don't know. I guess we'll see. The future's looking bright, though, and hopefully we can hit on this draft coming up, too. Get a, offensive line, safety help, and this team could be very, very good. So, Tyler, what do you think?
Thank you, Rocco, for your insight. I'm going to be talking about my perspective of the Jets game and how it was very upsetting as a Jets fan that they were eliminated from the playoffs. But on the bright side, we look at the future. Now, about the game, they just didn't play well. They weren't there. The defense did not look like it usually did the whole season. Mike White was missing a lot of throws. It really wasn't. And it was just embarrassing that we lost to Geno Smith, our former quarterback. But, we look at the bright side. The team is still very young. They were in the hunt this year. A lot of people said they were a good team, good defensive team, just quarterback holding them back. Also, injuries played a role. We lost Elijah Vera Tucker. That was big. Brees Hall, big running back. I would have loved to see what he would have done this whole year. But we got to move on. Now, what the Jets need to do for this offseason, I think, is one is we got to get a new quarterback. I think Mike White should be our backup. I don't think he's done a good enough job to be the starter. I do think the Jets cannot draft a quarterback. They just can't. They can't develop a quarterback. It's not the right time. This team's ready to win. They need to get a well-developed quarterback such as Jimmy G or Derek Carr. We love those two. Gardner Minshew, maybe, but still, maybe they go after Lamar Jackson, but that's going to cost a lot, and I'd rather them not go that way because there's other big names like Quinnen Williams who needs a resign this year, and we need Quinnen Williams. He was a beast this year, one of the best interior linemen on the defense this whole year. So we need him back, and hopefully next year we could stay healthy. Another thing is we gotta build up that O line how the Bengals did. They build up their O line and it helped Joe Burrow. I think we do that. It gives our quarterback a little bit more time. So that was it. Overall, the Jets, was it a disappointing season? Yeah, but it was also a success in my opinion. They did a lot better than they did last year. So that's my perspective, and back to you guys.
So yeah, those are some good insights, boys. It's unfortunate that your season is over.
For now.
As of right now.
Never know. I mean, talking about an 8th playoff team, so it's possible if they come back from the dead.
They are still alive if that scenario happens.
Yep.
And looking good too. But Gino got it done, man.
Yeah,
that revenge game. It was awesome to see.
I said it last week, on here. I just didn't see any way he was losing.
Yeah, it was part of the script.
Yeah.
It's funny. But I mean, like they've said, the Jets season was not supposed to go this way. They were supposed to be terrible. And obviously a great defense, some struggles on offense. They were a playoff team, but just couldn't win a few more games down the stretch. And they got a bright future though, as it's tough to see as Bills, and I'm sure you don't want to see the Jets to be good either. But
nope.
Next, we're discussing the Las Vegas Raiders. Obviously, benching Derek Carr, Jarrett Stidham comes in and just lights up one of the best defenses in the league. Was Carr the issue?
I don't know. I think it could be kind of like a one-game wonder type thing. I like to see that. They play the Chiefs this week. Obviously, Chiefs don't have a great defense like the 49ers, but if he came out and beat the Chiefs, then I think you can get a little more into a conversation about it. So, I don't know. It'll be interesting to say.
I feel like also this happens very often that a backup comes in and just does fantastic.
Yeah, it was like Tyler Huntley last year.
Yeah, Huntley last year, Bailey Zappi this year. There's a few instances of that, but it happens quite often. So, And it is Jarrett Stidham. Let's not forget that.
Yeah. It's not like Jarrett Stidham was he came out of college a decent quarterback who just never got a chance to play. He was a 4th-round pick. It's not like he's some undrafted guy who's just there.
Yeah, just came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But
he always looked good in the preseasons. Obviously, he was on the Patriots for years, so just never really got a chance to actually play. So it could be just a one-game thing, or maybe he actually just could be good.
Could be.
Possible.
James, you scared? Think Jarrett Stidham's gonna end your 1-seed hopes?
No, not really. Like you guys said, it's one game, but the Chiefs' defense has been pretty bad. So, except for against the Seahawks.
Yeah, they looked ridiculous against the Seahawks. Other than that game, though, the past couple weeks, they've been really the offense has kind of been lackluster at times. Their defense has given up.
Honestly, the defense hasn't even been that bad. It's they actually look better than the offense has looked. The offense hasn't really looked great in the last few weeks.
Yeah, but they still have their moments where they just score at will, and then there's other times where they just kind of don't do anything.
It's sloppy, yeah. So I guess it's kind of normal. I think we're just so used to seeing the Chiefs just scoring and scoring and scoring. So when they're not doing that, it's kind of weird.
Yeah,
but that's any other team.
And they're getting healthy now. McCole Hardman's back.
Yeah, having Hardman and Tony, I think is going to be a good duo.
Yeah, and now McKinnon is the best receiving running back of all time.
Crazy.
He's playing absolutely fantastic.
I think he's 10 touchdowns now.
Yeah, and it's he's leading the league in receiving touchdowns for running backs. Yeah, so 8 receiving touchdowns, and that's within the past couple of weeks because
I think
they didn't really.
He has 8. I think he got 8 in the last 4 games, or was it, or something like that? It was
something like that.
It was something crazy.
Because he didn't do much in the beginning of the season. All right, so Washington Commanders started Carson Wentz, and he ruined their season. Who called
Yeah,
it?
I
Literally
mean,
every
saw
single
it
human
coming.
being.
You saw it coming.
It's just like a terrible move. I think
It was
we
one of
all
those
said it last week.
Literally, yeah, it's one of those moves where like how is this? Why? Like, why are they doing this? It's stupid from the get-go, and then it doesn't work out well, and you're like, well, yeah, everybody saw this coming. Why would you do that?
Like, what did Heineke play 8 games and won 6 of them?
It was
Yeah.
probably something like
He
that.
beat the best team. He beat the Eagles. Carson Wentz was not doing that. I mean, everyone likes him on the team. Like, you just see it's kind of similar to like the Mike White and like Zach Wilson, how like the team plays around him, rather than the other person.
And that game for the Commanders, Carson Wentz threw like 5 passes, and 2 of them were picked within like the first quarter. I was very surprised
There was
that
like
they didn't bench
he
him.
had like 2 drop picks also.
Yeah,
He's
which-
bad. He's just bad.
Yeah,
he's really bad.
He's just
He's
bad. There's
he-
nothing more to say about
He was
him.
only
He's
good
just
that
bad.
1 year, and then like he got hurt and was just never good again. And then like Ron Rivera didn't even know they could miss the playoffs.
Yeah, it's
Like,
I don't know.
What are you guys doing over there?
That whole organization is literally just terrible. They need to be relegated to the XFL.
Except for the special teamers.
Yeah, those guys are great. But now this week they're starting Sam Howell, so hopefully you can see what you got there. He's very good in college.
Yep.
So
I don't
anything's
get
better than
the-
Carson Wentz, though.
Is Heineke hurt? Like, I don't understand.
No, they said Heineke was going to start, and then he went to like them and said like, yeah, start him instead.
Don't they have to win to make the playoffs?
No, they got eliminated already.
Okay, well that makes sense. Ron
If
Rivera,
they
you're
added an
stupid.
8th playoff teams to the NFC, they could get in.
Then yeah, but
Yeah,
that's like they had a
terrible.
playoff spot. They literally choked a playoff spot because they wanted to start Carson Wentz, and like the Browns aren't even that good, so it's not like you weren't
Wait.
going to win with the better quarterback. You probably would have won with Taylor.
Wait, so
Heineke.
who's
The only teams left in the NFC is the Seahawks, Lions, and Packers.
are the 7 seed? The 7 seeds the Seahawks right now.
right now? But if the Packers win, they get it.
And if the Lions win, they get it, or it's
No, if
Lions
the
need
Lions
the
win,
Seahawks to
and the
lose.
they
Seahawks
need the
lose.
Seahawks to lose.
Oh.
Yeah.
The Packers are winning, so they're gonna get in. So
Probably.
stupid. And
Yeah,
then
we
they'll
could
probably like who's the 2 seed right now?
They'll probably end up playing the 49ers and get blown out.
No, they'll like find a way to
No,
win.
they'd never
The
beat
49ers own Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, they won like last year by like what was that like? It was like the worst game ever, and then they like blocked a punt and scored.
Yeah. But I mean, that begs the question, are the Packers a scary team? Because they're playing absolutely fantastic right now.
I wouldn't even say they're
them.
scary. I mean, they're just
Say
like
no.
they're like not bad like they were in the beginning of the year, but I mean, like if I was the 49ers, I wouldn't be scared to play them.
For the 49ers, yeah.
I mean,
but like,
who's all the teams in the NFC right now?
I mean, I don't think they're the 7th best team in the playoffs if they make it. They're definitely better than the Bucks. I think
they
they're
would-
better than the Giants.
I think they would only beat maybe the Giants. I don't see them beating the Cowboys. The Cowboys offense would just destroy them. The Bucks are starting to look better. It's Brady
They
in the
could beat
playoffs.
Vikings. They just
The
blew out
Vikings, I could see
Vikings.
that too because
I mean, yeah, they beat the Vikings
are like a
and they beat
fraud,
the
whatever
Cowboys.
Their record is. What are they? 12-4.
4.
They're not a bad team, the Vikings, but they're not a 12-4
They're not-
team.
No.
49ers, I think they're going to the Super Bowl. I don't see anyone beating them. That would be funny if the Eagles lose the 1 seed, and
Yeah.
then
It's
the
definitely possible.
Packers beat the Eagles. That would be funny.
Well, if the
That's
Eagles lose the
possible.
1 seed, then they'd go to the 5. Because
Oh,
the Cowboys have to win, but then the Cowboys get the division. And
Yeah,
then it's the
that's actually
Tom
crazy.
Brady Eagles thing, like we've been saying.
yeah.
That'd be ridiculous.
I think the Cowboys are better than the Eagles. So I mean,
I don't know, it's tough.
I think it's
They're both-
close. The
also
Eagles
just like the
banged up.
Cowboys will they'll win their first round and then they'll just choke in like the divisional or like what
Yeah, if
do
they
every
even win
year.
the first one.
And they've been really inconsistent.
I don't
recently,
think
too.
I don't think the Bucks would beat them, to be honest.
They'd probably lose to the Bucks, honestly. The Cowboys. They'd
Cowboys.
find a way.
No, I don't think they would.
I mean, there's a chance they find a way just because they always choke, but they're definitely a better team.
They lost to them once already.
But I kind of agree with the Niners are probably the best team in the NFC right now.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
would say that.
whatever happened last week was a little weird, but
They still won.
They
Though.
still won.
yeah. So
I mean, the Chiefs barely won like their last like 3 games. But
Yeah,
like
they're winning.
good teams find a way to win. So
But But I mean, the Eagles are still fantastic with Jalen Hurts. Gardner
Yeah,
has
no, dude.
not looked great.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He's kind of just like thrown into that situation, and like, I don't know. I feel like the play calling didn't really benefit him a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it is also hard because there
They were
are
like
so
running
many.
Hurts plays with Minshew,
Yeah,
so
you
like
can't
it
do
doesn't
that.
really work like that.
Yeah, like it's I can understand what you're saying. Like for the Ravens, when Tyler Huntley comes in, he's like really athletic. He has a
Yeah,
similar skill set to Lamar. He's obviously not as good, but like the same plays would work. You can't just like have this. Gardner Minshew is not unathletic, but he is nowhere near
he's not.
the
He can't
athlete that
run
Jalen
like
Hurts
that.
is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I just
but
think they probably didn't want to change up the offense so late in the season.
yeah,
yeah. You could just like simplify it for him. I don't know. I don't
but
know.
he
I'm
is
not an
also.
NFL
I mean,
coach.
that's on Gardner Minshew. I mean, he's put into. He has. I mean, Lane Johnson's out, so that's part of it. But he still has a fantastic O line. He's got great weapons, a great team
I
around
mean,
him.
he didn't look bad against the Cowboys. He
No, he
I
didn't.
mean, you should have beat the Saints though. That's like,
That game was so weird. It was like the first half they had like 5 minutes of possession or
yeah, I
something.
didn't understand what was going on because they weren't even really showing it on red zone either. I was like, no, they were showing it, but the Eagles never had the ball, so I was
Yeah.
just confused.
Yeah, the Saints defense actually played well. The Eagles offense just really didn't do much, which I mean it's not solely on Minshew, but kind of is. Jalen Hurts wins that game. Jalen Hurts wins that game against the Cowboys too, probably. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think it's kind of just showing that like people were saying like the entire year how like Hurts is only good because the whole offense is good. But then like now you see like Minshew came and they lost 2 games.
Yeah, so that's
Where
giving
Hurts
Hurts
lost
some.
one game the entire year.
Yeah.
yeah,
So I
but
mean, it
Minshew also
is.
did put up like 34 against the Cowboys, and
Yeah, he did, but
like what was his stats? Like he had like over
He had
350 yards,
350, yeah, like three
three.
touchdowns, but he did have 2 picks.
I mean, yeah, Hurts is obviously like good, but I mean, Minshew's also like just like he's not like a great quarterback. It's like,
I honestly thought that he is like one of the better backups, but after last week and like those picks against the Cowboys, I am not so sure that he is who I thought he was.
no,
He
I
seemed
still
great
think
on
he is.
the.
I
he's
think
still a
it's kind of
top
just, like,
backup. I mean, backups are backups for a reason.
it really was his
Yeah.
just first like time actually playing for the Eagles
He hasn't played. When was the last time he played?
with like
Probably
the
Jags 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But I mean, it's pretty much just I feel like the big three in the NFC is just Eagles, Cowboys, and Niners. All the other teams are like solid and they could win a game or two, but I feel like it's those three top dogs.
Yeah, probably.
yeah, I mean the Bucks are still like scary to be honest.
I mean, just because it's Brady in the playoffs, but
Yeah,
like
that's
the team
really
itself,
it.
I really don't think is good.
I just hope they get out in like the first like round, just so I don't have to see Brady.
Yeah,
I'm sick of seeing Brady in the playoffs.
so close to not seeing him in the playoffs, but then Mike Evans actually decides to look at the ball. Guy went off too. That is ridiculous. So regarding the AFC playoffs, there's a lot of different scenarios that could happen, obviously, whether the Bills Bengals game is played or not. So we don't really have all the answers to it right now. But let's just say, hypothetically speaking, that game is not played, but they're keeping just the 7-team format. So the teams that are in right now are the Patriots, the Dolphins, Jags and Titans, but that's a weird scenario there, and then the Steelers. So obviously Pats control their own destiny, but they got the Bills. That's tough. I mean, I think the Jags are going to beat the Titans
Yeah, I agree with that.
and win the division there.
The Patriots are in right now.
Yeah, they're the 7.
They win and they're in.
No,
But
I
if
know
they
that.
lose-
I'm saying I didn't know they were the 7 right now.
Oh yeah,
I thought it was the
holding us in right
Dolphins for
now.
some reason.
It was
They're
until
the
they
same
lost,
record, but the Patriots have a better division record.
and they have the head to head. Well, they split. So
They split.
yeah,
So it goes to the division record.
I kind of hope the Titans get in just because it's like less competition.
Oh, yeah.
I'd rather play the Titans any day over the Jags.
Yeah, I just don't
Like
see any
Trevor
way the
Lawrence
Titans beat
is.
the Jags.
I don't. The only way is Derrick Henry. That's literally
Yeah, but
it.
still, it's like it's Josh Dobbs, so the entire defense is going to just like focus on Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
yeah. But I mean, Josh Dobbs has shown that he is not Malik Willis. He could actually play football. He looked pretty solid.
Yeah, he did,
And-
but they still like it's still Josh Dobbs.
Yeah, I know. But the receivers also were just dropping passes.
They are because they're not good.
Oh yeah, Robert Woods. It's unfortunate to see how much he regressed from that injury. Traylon Burks looks okay at times.
You know, he's good, but he doesn't get the ball that often.
Yeah, and like they got the tight ends Hooper and Chigakonkwo that are solid, but it's not a scary team. They are not good, like at all. Vrabel's a great coach though, so anything could happen. But I mean, there's a scenario in which the Titans win that game and the Jags still get the 7,
Yeah.
which I hope doesn't happen for the Bills' sake, because the Jags kind of scare me a little bit. They've been really good.
So what's that scenario?
I think they would
It's
need
like
the Patriots to
Titans win and then
lose,
everyone else loses.
yeah,
Okay.
which
Could
could
happen.
happen. There's a very real possibility of that, but I think it's just more
The
likely the
Jets would
Jags
have to
just
beat the
win.
Dolphins, right?
Yeah, and then the Steelers would have to lose to the Browns too.
Those are both possible.
Yeah,
The Browns' defense has looked pretty good lately.
yeah, and their offense looked pretty good last week too.
Their
So
offense looks all right.
yeah,
Yeah, it's kind of like depends on like Kenny Pickett.
yeah. I mean, he was so clutch last week. That last drive was crazy.
Yeah, and the week before that too.
Yeah, exactly. It was like the
He's
same
rough.
exact scenario. Yeah. It's so weird though, because I feel like they don't call the same plays throughout the same game that they do on like those last drives.
Yeah.
Like
like
they
the
really
same
don't
thing the
push.
Bucs
Yeah,
do.
the games are so
Yeah.
boring. It's like low scoring, and then it's like a game-winning drive, and then everyone just turns into a superstar.
That's like the same thing with the Bucks every week. It's like they're
Dude, they
it's
should have lost so many games,
it's like a
bro. I
close-
don't want to see this guy in the
it's like a
playoffs.
close game, and then he's
Like
got,
they
a
just
game-winning
randomly,
drive
everyone
on
just
his
starts
last
like
drive.
turning up out of nowhere. It's like the
Yeah.
last drive, and every like Scotty Miller turns into like Julian Edelman in like 2018 or whatever year. Like I don't understand.
Yeah. Tough to see. But I think Jags get the 5. They play the Chargers first
That'd be
round.
awesome matchup.
Fantastic matchup.
That's like
Love
a
to see
perfect
that.
matchup. Like I feel like that would be a good game. Like
Yeah.
two good running backs, two good young quarterbacks,
Mhm.
some good receivers there. That's like a good game.
Yeah. And I feel like that could go either way.
They're like
too.
a very, if you like really look at their like teams, they're like a very, very similar like team.
Yeah, they're structured pretty
yeah.
similarly.
That's
And
why
like
that'd be a good matchup.
yeah. I would like to see that. Obviously, there's a lot of things that happen, so we really can't even speculate. But it's fun to speculate.
Yeah, like who do you think would win that game?
I literally don't know. I'd honestly give the edge to the Jaguars right now.
Really? I'd probably take the Chargers, but then again, like coaching. Like
That's the exact reason why I don't like Brandon Staley at all. But I mean, it's two young quarterbacks, first time in the playoffs. They could either light it up or the stage could be too big for them. They do nothing.
yeah,
I would give
I'm
that
actually
to the
happy.
Chargers.
I'm actually happy Herbert made the playoffs. Like the guy always balls out and like doesn't get in.
Because his coach is
Like-
terrible.
Yeah, like even though like as a Chiefs fan I shouldn't want him in, but like
Yeah, it's hard to root against the guy.
I like him too. That's why it's like hard like not to like him.
So we're gonna get into our MVPs of the week. My MVP is going to be Jair Alexander. I still find him very annoying, but this whole entire week leading up to this matchup, yeah, that. You're just saying how like he's like, you know what I mean? He doesn't put on a super suit in the morning, huh? Stuff like that. And he really showed out. He had a great game. It wasn't just him, but that defense as a whole. But
Yeah,
I'm
it's
gonna give
more
the
the
edge to Jair
defense.
Alexander. But yeah, he did lock up Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson had 1 catch for 15 yards. So I'm mostly giving it to him for backing up his trash talk and then putting a
Yeah,
big
this is,
head
like,
on
the
and
first
continuing the
time.
trash talk. Yeah,
That was actually funny.
it was really funny.
Yes.
And make sure when Skip talks about me, doesn't say I'm a good corner. I'm a great corner.
Yeah.
That guy, man.
He's a clown, man.
Yeah. So my MVP is gonna be the Brady and Evans combo. They finally showed up. It only took 17 weeks, but
Yeah.
well, it's actually more of Evans' fault. But so Brady had 432 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, and a rushing touchdown. I actually didn't even know that. And the 2-point conversion. And then we got Mike Evans, 207 yards, 3 touchdowns, 10 catches. I mean, monster game. Brady kind of threw him like 3 dimes. Same play down the right side. Just
I
a
don't
lob,
understand.
just a lob pass right to the bread basket.
How
So,
like as a defense, you see that happen once, you're like, oh man. Twice, you're like, okay.
it kind of reminded me of like, remember like when Tyreek had like that game against the Bucks in the regular season where they were
Yes.
just lobbing him the ball down the right side. Like
That's literally exactly what happened.
after it happens once, like you should adjust.
Yeah. And like after the second time, you're like, all right,
Like,
now
all
we're
right.
literally just gonna hug this guy every play. Embarrassing. Great game by them. Finally, they started to pick it up.
Yeah. Let's see if they can keep it going into the playoffs. That'll
Yeah,
be big for the playoffs.
hopefully they don't.
Yeah. Hopefully they don't.
But yeah. So my MVP for the week is gonna be Kyle Duggar.
Boo.
One AFC Defensive Player of the Week. He basically saved the Patriots season with a pick 6, to be honest with you. Because like if they lost the game, they would have been out. and he got the pick six, and they stayed ahead for the rest of the game. It was also his third defensive touchdown of the year, which leads all players. I think they said it was the most defensive touchdowns for what Patriot in the same season since like 1960 or something. And then the Patriots defense also has like 7 or 8 defensive touchdowns in the year also, which is crazy. So
Yeah.
It
was a huge play. It was a huge play.
He always comes up with those nice defensive touchdowns and they need it.
Yeah.
Had a pick six on Derek Carr a couple of weeks ago, and then had a fumble recovery for a touchdown earlier in the year.
He also broke Teddy Bridgewater's finger.
He did.
And that also helped win the game for them.
He did.
He's a good team player.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're getting into our predictions for the week. Tyler is trying to go 0-16. So let's just start with that.
Doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. He's gonna find a way to go 16-0 somehow this week.
To go 0-16, it's the same thing as going 16-0 because he just went opposite of what he thinks. So it's like
it doesn't make much sense. Yeah, so pretty much he's going 16-0 because I mean if he picked them to win, but he was going to get whatever. So starting off with the Saturday matchups, we got the Chiefs and Raiders. We all got the Chiefs. Tyler got the Raiders because, 0-16 thing. But, I mean, we saw the Raiders look great last week. It's the Chiefs versus the Raiders. It's probably going to be a great game somehow, but the Chiefs are going to pull it out.
Yeah, Chiefs kind of like need to win, so.
Yeah, I think they're going to show up. Like, I don't think it's going to be a close game. I'm not saying like a crazy blowout, but maybe like win by like more than one score like they've been doing the last like 3 weeks. Because they got to like pick it up going into the playoffs. I mean,
and this, depending on what they do for playoffs, this could be for the 1 seed. So it's a huge
probably
game.
That also. So I think Mahomes is gonna like show up.
I think it's most likely is for the 1 seed.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot on the line. Honestly, it's not just like a normal game. It's gonna have like a playoff like feel to it, and the Raiders are gonna be looking to like hurt the Chiefs in any way they can. So
it's a rival. You want to hurt them as much as possible.
Yeah.
So they're definitely going to come out and play their hardest, but I don't think it's going to be enough to overcome the Chiefs. Next, we got the Saturday night game. This is a playoff game. This is the first playoff game of the year, basically. Titans and Jags. We all got the Jags, except for Tyler, because whatever. But Jags are a better team. They've been playing better. Titans are starting a journeyman third-string quarterback. Tennessee legend, though. But I don't think that they're going to be able to do enough.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Like, they could get Derrick Henry involved early, but, I mean, they're not going to be able to just continue to run him the whole game because the Jags are going to put up points.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to come down to. But who knows? I mean, it's basically a playoff game, so Titans have a little experience there, but I mean,
I just don't see the Titans being.
It's not like it's Tannehill playing.
Should be a good game though.
Yeah.
Next, we got the Bucks and the Falcons. I am not sure about this one.
Like, I don't even know. Like, is like all the Bucks players playing?
I'm pretty sure they are.
I don't know why they would though.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I was confused. Like, I think I took the Falcons because I didn't know. Like, I don't really know.
Yeah, I didn't even make a pick for this yet because I'd need to like know more about the game. Rep has the Bucks because he loves Tom Brady, but Tyler and James have the Falcons right now. I mean, do you know anything? Like, are they supposed to play?
I mean, I don't think Brady's gonna sit. Like, Brady isn't like sitting like that. So like,
yeah, but I mean, there's literally no reason for them to play.
It doesn't.
Even if they play like a half or something.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like I feel like
I don't think they're sitting. Maybe they'll sit for like half the game or something. But I don't know. I don't think they really said.
That's why I'm just taking the Falcons because like they're just gonna be playing like for just to go out on a good note.
This game basically means nothing.
Yeah,
it doesn't mean anything.
So
there's a few games there's like a couple games like that.
Yeah. Next we got the Patriots and the Bills. Me and James have the Bills. Tyler and Rupp have the Patriots. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they come out. I mean, there's either two ways that this could go. It could light a fire under them and they need to play for DeMar. They want to win for DeMar. Or they could just be so like mentally out of it that they just don't play well. So, I mean, I'm hoping that they come out and they realize that they need to win this game. It's very important, especially if the Bengals game doesn't resume. And I'm sure DeMar would want them to go absolutely nuclear on the Patriots this week. So, I mean, it is a big game. If the Bengals Bills doesn't get played, I mean, either way, it's a big game. This would have locked them up to 1 seed if they won that game against the Bengals. So,
What if the Bills lost and the Bengals, like if the game doesn't get finished, they'll both finish 12-4
yeah.
with the same division record, same conference record, no head to head.
Yeah, it goes to strength of schedule.
And is that the Bengals?
I'm not sure.
I don't know where you're supposed to like look that up.
Well, that would be if the Bills lose to the Patriots and then the Bengals beat the Ravens. Because the Bills still have a game on the Bengals right now.
Oh no, it goes division record, then percentage in common games.
Oh yeah, but I'm pretty sure all the common games are like similar or something. I don't know. I read something about
They
it
both
that
beat the Chiefs. They both beat. Well, actually, I don't know because they lost. The Bengals lost to the Ravens.
and the Bills beat the Ravens, so that's part of it. But I mean, I'm assuming they're going to beat the Ravens. I don't know. It gets into I know it gets into this really weird tiebreaker if
Yeah,
the
you
Bills
can, like, see there's,
lose.
like 12 different things.
Yeah, it's really, really weird. I hope it doesn't come down to that because if it's just like some dumb criteria where the Bills get the lower seed, then I would not enjoy it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
But yeah. Rupp, what do you see? Why are you picking your Pats?
I mean, I picked the Patriots because they like need to win. I mean, they don't need to win because like there's still a bunch of other things that could happen. Like the Steelers lose and the Dolphins lose, and honestly, those both could happen very easily. But I don't know. I mean, it's kind of like down to this where it's like could be your last game of the season. You can't just play like you have been playing for most of the season. So I think that I don't know. I honestly don't know. Like I could see the Bills winning, but Patriots just need to win. So
Yeah.
it's really what it comes down to.
I think they, like you said, they need to just come out with like a completely different outlook of how they're going to call the plays.
They have
like
to
if they
just
want to do
play
trick
like
plays.
they have to just you can't just play and be scared of turnovers like they have been.
Yeah.
That's why they just don't do anything. It's because they're scared to turn the ball over. Like you play like that, you're not going to beat good teams. You need
Yeah.
to take
And I mean,
risks to score.
Yeah. We'll see. A lot of variables that are like unfootball related that
Yeah,
could
also like
sway
Patriots.
that game.
Patriots are pretty healthy now too. Like they're getting all their corners back besides Jack Jones. So I mean, the defense has been playing very well for a while.
And the Bills are a little banged up too. So
It's just going to come down to if the offense can actually score.
So next we got the Vikings and the Bears. We all got the Vikings. Tyler's got the Bears. Bears are starting Nathan Peterman. That's
I mean,
that's
Vikings are still playing for the 1 seed technically.
Yeah.
So
Unlikely, but still possible.
yeah.
Next we got the Ravens and the Bengals. This game does not have as much meaning as it once did. Bengals, if that game doesn't get played, Bengals already have the division locked up.
Yeah.
But we got the Bengals. They're just a better team. Tyler's got the Ravens. Also, I don't think Lamar's practiced yet.
He has not.
Yeah.
It's been like
so
a month.
Even if he was playing, I probably would still take the Bengals.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, Lamar might not even be playing in the playoffs at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
it
they're gonna
is.
get eliminated and then he won't be able to play.
Next, we got the Texans and the Colts. Me and James have the Texans, and Rupp and Tyler have the Colts. They're both terrible teams.
They're both terrible,
probably
but
the
I
two
think the
worst
Texans are
teams.
just going to be like full blown, like lose this game no matter what can happen.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely need to lock
Damn,
up
I
that
didn't
number
even
one
think
pick.
of that actually. Might just switch to the Colts.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wait,
I mean,
so
you
if they
can,
lose, they don't get the pick?
if they lose, they get the number one pick locked up.
I mean, if they
lose-
win,
if they
win, I
win
mean,
and the
if they
Bears
win.
lose, then the Bears get it.
Damn.
Yeah.
But the
Because they
Bears,
have
dude, that'd
the
be like kind of
tie.
interesting though, because then who would the Bears draft?
I think the Bears would probably try to trade down like
Yeah,
two
they probably
spots.
would.
Oh,
They
okay,
wouldn't
yeah,
be
'cause I was
going
gonna say there's
quarterback
no,
first.
there makes no sense. They just got
they
Fields.
probably could try and trade down to like with someone else who needs a QB.
Yeah, even if it is
Whereas,
just like the third pick or something, or like even if it's
Whereas
the
like if
Texans.
the Texans get the first pick, they're obviously taking a quarterback.
That'd actually
Yeah.
be good for the Bears then, though. 'Cause
Yeah, they're
could
gonna get
a
more
receiver
picks.
or something.
Yeah, but for them, it's pretty much Will Anderson or Jalen Carter either way.
Yeah.
In my eyes, at least. Because I mean, we've seen Fields take steps. He's not the best passer still, but
Yeah, but they're not going to
I mean,
move off of him after this
Yeah.
year.
there's no
Like, he
chance
shows a
from
lot
what
of
he's shown.
flashes, like good stuff. So
Yeah, so it could be interesting. But
Yeah.
Colts are also they're looking to get a new QB. They're definitely in a good like spot for probably Stroud, if not Will Levis. So if they lose this game, that's going to bump them up even higher. Probably get the quarterback that they want. So it's going to be interesting to see how this game plays out because both
Yeah.
teams really need to lose. I just feel like when a quarterback is playing for his job pretty much, either way, Davis Mills is not going to be the starter next year, but I feel like it'll light a fire under him to like play good, if that makes sense. I don't know.
Yeah.
Both teams suck, so it doesn't really matter.
I wouldn't be surprised if Jeff Driscoll's in there instead of him.
That would make a lot of sense. So next we got the Jets and the Dolphins. Me and Rupp have the Jets. Tyler and James have the Dolphins. Tyler has the
that's kind of like
Dolphins
before
over
I
the
knew
Jets.
like the whole Dolphin situation. So like,
Do you want to switch your pick to the Jets?
nah, I'll just stick with the Dolphins.
All right.
Jets suck too.
Dolphins country. Let's ride.
Suck, but I'm not picking Mike Glennon
Yeah, just
or
wait.
Skylar Thompson to
Just
win that
wait.
game.
Yeah, they won't win the game. It'll be Tyreek Hill and Waddle.
Yeah.
You just got to throw a little screen. I'll stick with the
I
Dolphins.
mean, look what happened the
but
last time the Jets played Skylar Thompson. They beat him by like 30.
That is
yeah,
true.
it's not
And that
him,
was with
though.
Zach Wilson.
Yeah, that was also with Zach Wilson. Yes.
Yeah, just wait. This Glennon season, baby.
I don't think so. The Jets are already like, I mean, this could mean a lot. Like we've been saying, there's just too many, there's too many things that we don't know about the playoffs yet, but this could be a win and in scenario for them.
It could be,
So-
yes.
They are going to play like it is. And if it's not, they're going to play like, okay, our rivals could get into playoffs if they beat us. Let's not let that happen. Happens all the time. The Bills did it in like 2016 or something against the Jets. Just ruined their season. It's pretty funny to see. Next game, we got the Panthers and the Saints. Me and Rupp have the Panthers, and Tyler and James have the Saints.
Yeah, I
Both
just
teams
think
suck. Season's over.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
what I'm
know.
saying. It's
I
like
It's
think
another
Sam
a lot of
Darnold's
these
gonna-
games. A lot of these games is like you just kind of you don't
Yeah,
really know.
I just think
Yeah.
Sam Darnold's going to want to play well.
Yeah, this is even a more of a scenario. Like I was just saying with Davis Mills, like he's going to want to play better. Panthers are not in a spot to get one of the top quarterbacks
Yeah,
right
they're
now.
not.
So this could really be like Sam Darnold actually playing for his job because he's looked pretty solid. So if he just like closes out the season strong,
Yeah, I mean,
they'll
no,
probably
I mean,
give
the
him another
Panthers are
chance.
Still like they could try and trade up if they technically wanted to.
yeah, they definitely could. But if it comes down to like, if they could get like one of the top two, maybe in the top three, then yeah, I'd probably get
Yeah, I
one
mean,
of those
they're
guys.
at the 8th pick right now. If they lose again, they'd probably still be around the same. But
Yeah. So I mean, there's a chance, but this guy's actually playing for his job.
yeah, he actually is.
So
Whereas like
this-
Davis Mills knows he ain't the starter anymore.
So that's why I have Panthers. I can see it
That's
going
why I
either
have
way.
Panthers.
Meaningless game. Both teams are bad. Panthers have looked solid, but now that their season doesn't matter. So yeah, it's a whatever game. Next, we got the Browns and the Steelers. A lot of playoff implications here for the Steelers. I have the Steelers. Everybody else has the Browns. I don't think the Steelers are that good, but they won the last 2 weeks on some really clutch drives by Kenny Pickett. The defenses look pretty solid. TJ Watt is, doing TJ Watt things, just picking up that defense. The Browns have looked better though.
That's why I'm going with the Browns. I think the defenses just look a lot better, and like Watson's starting to like look like he's getting more comfortable.
You still got like Chubb and stuff, and like I feel like the Browns is like the best offense out of those teams that the Steelers just beat. Like who they beat the Ravens and
The
The
Raiders.
yeah.
Yeah. So, but it's also, they're so stupid. They like ride Nick Chubb down the field,
Yeah, then he
gets
just
them in
doesn't
the red
play.
zone, and then he's off the field. It doesn't make sense.
Like for literally like 8 plays in a row, he didn't play. Like after that, it made
Yeah.
no sense.
I guess because they think that now they have a more capable quarterback, they can rely on him more. But like, you could still rely on your best player.
Yeah.
I
know,
don't
just think
understand.
the Browns want to win to like they're not obviously not in playoffs or anything. They're 7-9, so it's not like they're trying to get a better pick.
You
I
like
think it's kind of just like they want to just win because
Play spoils.
they were
yeah.
doing much like QB draws like
Yeah.
with Watson. Like, dude, just give it. Why not just give it to Chubb?
Yeah.
Just let him throw.
Yeah, like he's. I mean, he
hasn't
could
been-
run, but he was like he's not like a crazy like runner where like he's I don't know he's not like Hurts like or
Yeah.
Fields or like he's not I don't know he's not that elusive like that.
He was more of just like he can't get sacked guy. Like he
yeah
wasn't like
and then like
like
oh
a
he broke it.
design-
He had a crazy sack he broke
He
out
did.
of
He did. It gave me flashbacks to the 2018.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
crazy.
I think it's more of just like trying to get Watson comfortable throws like where they're still like kind of winning games, but
Yeah.
it doesn't like mean anything for them.
Yeah. But
I think
Miles
they probably
Garrett said
just see,
exactly
like,
what
yeah,
you
we can eliminate the Steelers from the playoffs.
Yeah,
They're gonna
that's
want to do
exactly what
that.
Miles Garrett said.
Like they're
Like,
gonna want to do that, obviously.
yeah. But the Steelers are playing for their season. They're playing to keep that Mike Tomlin record alive where he hasn't had a
Yeah.
losing season. So I don't know. That's why I got the Steelers. And Kenny Pickett played pretty well recently. So next we got the Chargers and the Broncos. We all got the Chargers. For Tyler's got the Broncos.
I don't
mean,
think
the
Chargers
Chargers-
are playing for anything really.
Yeah, I don't know if they have the 5 locked up.
I think they pretty
But-
much do.
That's what they're playing for pretty much. So I mean, they don't need to win this game, but winning that would lock up the 5, and I'm sure they want to do that.
Yeah, because like the Ravens can still get the 5 if they win and the Chargers lose, but
Yeah, which
the
is
Broncos are also just like terrible. So
yes, they are really really bad. They looked pretty good at times against the Chiefs. I
Yeah.
thought they were going to get it done, but then I was like, oh wait, it's the Broncos. Then next game we got the Giants and the Eagles. Rupp and James have the Eagles. Tyler's got the Giants. I am not making a pick yet because I need to see if Hurts is playing or not. That's
I don't
pretty
think
much
the
it.
Giants are really going to be playing that many people.
I think Hurts is gonna play too. That's why I think.
I think like the Eagles want the 1 seed.
yeah,
They're gonna try to get it as much as they can.
and
but
like
it's
the
yeah.
Giants, like you said, like the Giants are like locked in, like their spot. So it's like, how long
Yeah.
are they gonna like play? Like Saquon and like
Yeah, especially like Saquon. I don't think you'll see Saquon much this week. And,
Yeah,
like,
even if they play for like
yeah,
a half
especially
or
like an
something.
injury-prone guy like that, you're not gonna want to like
Yeah.
risk like anything.
But it's also like they don't want to give the Eagles the 1 seed too.
Yeah,
they
but
don't,
I mean,
but
at that point, it's
I don't think they're gonna risk their starters getting injured just to keep the 1
Yeah.
seed away from them.
Yeah.
like they're
agree.
locked in there. If they were able to move like up or down, then I'd be like, yeah, it makes sense. But there's really no reason just to try to sabotage like the Eagles.
Yeah. Especially like you're in the playoffs, you're locked in.
Yeah,
This game really doesn't matter for you. So
and they're like they could do damage in the playoffs if Daniel Jones could play well.
yeah, they could definitely win one.
Like
I
a
could
gritty,
see
like
them winning 2
pesky
games.
team. Like
Yeah. Like there's that many superstars on that team. Obviously you got like Saquon. You have like the most lackluster receiving core of all time, but they've won many games.
yeah, Daniel
just
Jones
coached
is such a
great.
gritty player.
He's so gritty, man. He's like first guy in, last guy out mentality. Next game we got the Cardinals and the 49ers. We all have the Niners except for Tyler. He's got the Cardinals, obviously.
Yeah, 49ers still playing for the 1 seed, so
The
Cardinals are terrible.
atrocious.
Yeah.
yeah.
And then D Hop's out too. It's what is it? David Blau that's playing. I don't care. They're terrible. Their season's been over for a long time.
Yep.
And the Niners are very good. So
Yeah,
pretty simple. Next game we got the Rams and the Seahawks. Seahawks, except for Tyler. He's got the Rams,
Yeah.
but this is a big game for the Seahawks. So
Yeah,
Obviously,
I
they-
can see
they
the
need more to
Rams
ha-
wanting to like end the Seahawks season too.
yeah. And especially Baker, he's actually he's not going to be the starter next year for the Rams most likely, but he's still playing for a starting job somewhere. And I mean, the Seahawks still need a couple other things to go their way to make the playoffs, but first step is winning that game. So
Yeah.
then we got the Cowboys and the Commanders. We all got the Cowboys except for Tyler. He's got the Commanders, obviously.
Yeah, I mean,
Starting
it's the
Sam
same
Howell.
scenarios like the 49ers and Seahawks where they just need to win. They
Yeah.
want to win. They could still get the 1 seed.
Mhm.
They're not going to sit anybody.
They need something else to happen, but step one is winning that game.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Either way, I mean, the Commanders are bad. It's a rookie's first start against like a pretty solid defense, pretty good defense. They've just been kind of sloppy this past few weeks,
Mhm.
but I'm excited to see what Sam Howell has though.
Yeah.
Then we got the last game of the week, the Lions and the Packers. Packers, it's winning, you're in. We got the Packers, except for Tyler's got the Lions, obviously. But
Yeah, I just think the Packers have come this far. They're not going to lose to the Lions now.
yeah,
pretty funny though.
It would
dude,
definitely
it'd be
pretty
so
funny.
funny.
But I
They
don't
go on
see
like
it
this
happening.
crazy end of season streak, and it's the Lions that take them out.
Yeah, I don't see it happening.
And especially if the Seahawks lose, the Lions have nothing to play for other than to spoil the Packers season. Rodgers, he's winning that game. Pretty
Yeah.
simple.
They're not. The Packers aren't losing that game.
No, there's no way. That would
I
be
hope
so
they do.
funny, though.
I hope they
I-
do. It would be funny, but it's not happening.
Yeah,
Yeah.
most likely not. So the records for last week, obviously, Bengals Bills was not played out, so we're just gonna go off the records of the other 15 games. So Rupp won the week again. You've been doing great, man. I think you won like the past 3 weeks or 4. Clap it up for you. Good job, man. Jameson clapping for you, just so you're aware. You went 13-2, Rupp. I went 12-3. James went 11-4, and Tyler went 10-5.
Would have been another one for me, and we would have been tied right now. But
No, I'd have that 2-game lead on you when the Bills came back and won that game.
Happened.
Unfortunate things did happen, but all right. Now to get into our records for the year, Rupp he's close, man. He's close. I'm still in the lead. I am 152-85. Rupp is now 151-84. James is in third now, 148-89. And Tyler, the bottom feeder, is 139-98. It's a close race, so it's anybody's at this point. James could come back and get it, but it's pretty much between me and you.
Now you could. I think we're only 3 behind us.
Yeah, but I don't think we even have like.
Oh yeah, that's probably
games.
True. Yeah. So
yes, don't lie to me, bro.
Yeah, don't give him false hope, man.
My bad, man.
All right, so that concludes this week's episode of the Sportorium podcast. Hope you guys enjoy. Till next time.
Thank you.